always been a fan of racing since I was a little kid. We'd always watch the Daytona 500 and anything that was on we could watch and go to the local short tracks, and always wanted to race. Started out as a ski racer and loved that, and I was at this fundraiser in Atlanta, and I was told, you know, why don't you go to the track and take part in the school that was there, and that's where I met Joe Foster, my partner. That program really helped sort of open the door to racing. For someone like me to come in and to get into racing and to go through those schools like a Skippy Barber or something like that, it really gives you the technique and the craft to sort of really develop your skills to go out and race. And the thing that I really love about Grand Am is that the ladder that it prepares you to get to this level is really phenomenal and allows you to grow as a driver, and you're around a lot of incredibly talented drivers. I didn't realize quite how much work goes into it, and a lot of phone calls and dead ends and things like that. And we couldn't do it without Joe. I mean, Joe's been in the sport for so long, very knowledgeable, great driver, and he knows a lot of people, and we have a great group around us. So I'm very fortunate. It's the thing that gives me the most satisfaction, I think, and the most relaxation. Just to be around everybody, the competition, the fellowship. We have a lot of fun, a great sense of humor with all the drivers, and the series has been incredibly supportive. And it's like a vacation coming here. Certainly when I'm in the car. Not all the time, though. Sometimes it's debilitating to my ego. I think the concentration, the mental aspect of it certainly helps tremendously to sort of block out everything around you and really focus on what you need to do and not worry about other people. You know, being aware that they're around you. I think that helps tremendously. When I first came into it, and certainly after the success of the show, there's a lot of people that want to have you a part of their team just because, you know, the marketing aspect of it, the visibility certainly. But everybody on the crew and everybody around, and certainly with Joe, have been with me since day one. It's nice to have had about 5 years of experience with everybody, and we've all kind of come along together. I haven't really been put in the deep end of the pool without, you know, sort of going through some benchmarks and certain goals that we've had that we met and then we move on. It's allowed me to kind of come along and not get in over my head too quickly. No, it was refreshing. It was good. I think that's part of why I like coming here, because a lot of drivers didn't know who I was, which was great. I just sort of was a driver and someone who wanted to drive and learn more about the sport and to improve, and that's been really rewarding. Just their respect and their support and their insight. They've been very willing to share their knowledge, and you know, I thank them. I'm always watching racing every weekend. It was another thing when my wife said, why don't you get off of the couch and stop watching the Speed Channel and go and do it, and really encouraged me. Without her support, I couldn't do it. So you come in contact with the people that I really respect and really look up to, and you certainly starstruck, and it's nice to be around them. And certainly last year at the 24 Hours, I couldn't believe who was in the field, and it was 3:30 in the morning and I was out there. Joe's like, no, you're going to go out and you're going to run when everybody else runs, and I was out there for 2.5 hours, and I learned a lot. I couldn't get over the fact who I was running with, and it was an amazing experience as they blew by me. My goal as an owner is to give the real pro drivers an opportunity to go out and win races, and I hope to get to a place where we're expanding, where we have 3 to 4 different cars that we're running competitively, and to give drivers who don't necessarily have the means to go out and run. And I think that's what's been great about the partnership with Mazda, is that's something that we have as a goal for the future, and we've had some great sponsors, and hopefully we can do that. My first major race was here in the Coney Challenge, so I would say this is definitely one of my favorites. Laguna Seca is another great track as far as the history is concerned, and it was my first year at Watkins Glen, and the history behind the F1 there and all the things in that tradition. In that area of the country too is really quite beautiful. I really love road racing and the tradition of that, certainly after the Second World War and the explosion of road racing in this country, and the drivers that came out of that, Phil Hill, Carroll Shelby, all of those drivers in that generation. And I think that's why I like Grand Am so much, is because it's an extension of that and a renewal of that series and that time in racing. The great thing with my partnership with Avon, and certainly having them wrap the car this year, is just bring more attention to the Avon Foundation, what they do for breast cancer and domestic violence, and also with my foundation in Maine and our partnership there, and we're reaching out to the rural communities and really helping women get the attention that they need early on. It's nice to have celebrity, but it's certainly nice to have the visibility to give back and make a difference in someone's life is really rewarding in so many ways. The people that have come from Hollywood that I had tremendous respect for, not only on the track but off the track, and what they did in life, is Paul Newman. what he did as a man, just in life and also as an actor. He did it all. And what a great driver he was as well. When you think of celebrity and you think that's a lot to live up to, and those are big shoes to hopefully, I don't think you can ever fill them, but it's certainly a goal to strive towards, I think. In Success, and certainly the type of character that has been embraced by people, the McDreamy character, is not somebody I could possibly live up to. It's a projection. It's an idealized version of that person. And I know that. I think I'm really grateful for the fact that the success has come later in life for me, and it was a long road to get to that point. So I take it seriously enough to understand it and to get the most out of it. But at the same time, I don't buy into that being who I really am. And I think that's the key. Although when someone comes up to me, no matter what the age is, there is a certain responsibility to give back to them and give them the time that they deserve, because without them supporting me and liking what I do, I wouldn't be here today doing any of this. The racing certainly humbles you in that respect too. It brings you down to earth. I try to remain extremely grateful for all the opportunities that I have now more than ever.